have not met with the team. Obviously, they're out for the holidays, and I know most of them are gone. As you can see around the campus, it's most of the students are out of here. So that'll be something. As soon as school gets back in, we'll meet. Probably good in some ways because it gives me time to start working on the staff and meeting with the coaches that are here on staff already and kind of going from there. But we'll do that when everybody gets back.
Hey, Bill, Al Moskowitz from
Hey,
Madison Star.
How are you?
Good, good. Would you just speak to what you're thinking about as far as the staff goes? Have you made offers yet to anybody? And like something else.
Sure. I think the funny thing about the coaching profession, obviously, in the day of email and text, and obviously my phone has kind of rang off the hook. But there's a lot of guys that want to be here. They know the tradition is here. I think they know what I'm about, hopefully, and what we're trying to bring here. So, been in contact with a lot of good folks, but we hadn't finished all our business up. So as soon as that's done, we'll be trying to get some guys here just as soon as possible.
And then the other thing, and you mentioned it in your remarks, we know that you're a defensive guy. I know you had some experience on the offensive side, but a lot of people I've talked to since yesterday wanted to know what kind of offense are they going to run. I've heard, spread perhaps, but go into your philosophy about what you think they're going to run here once you're in place.
Well, the first thing will be an up-tempo offense. And we've got to develop an offense that fits the guys we got here. We're going to be recruiting real quick, and we'll be bringing some guys in here, but we've got a great group of players that are already here, and we've got to develop it around their talent. So you've got to have an offense that's big enough to encompass what they can do. We will throw the ball, but when I say up-tempo, if you watch any football now, you see what up-tempo offense does to people. And myself having to defend it, and the conference I'm coming from was the top to bottom was probably the highest rated scoring offenses, in Division I football. And so that's what I got to defend, and you see the tempo and what it does to you. So we will be high tempo. Our practices will be high tempo. If you come and watch us practice, you're going to see that. You're going to see we're going to practice that way offensively and defensively. You will not see people standing around. That's something we've been doing for a long time. We take a lot of pride in how we practice, and of course we think that translates to the game, and of course how we work out and train, and I could talk about all that stuff all day. But offensively, we will be exciting. We're going to protect the football. The football is the game, as we say. But we will throw the ball around. We're going to try and be balanced. That will be, a lot of out of the gun, but we will also go under center some, and of course we're going, like I said, we're going to fit these people and fit the guys that we put on the offensive side of the ball.
Helping start the program at South Alabama, what did you learn from your experience there over the last several years that's going to translate into helping you be a head coach here?
Well, I think when you come from nothing, and we've played all the way from the Georgia militaries and prep schools to the JUCOs to Division II, and then working our way up through 1AA and into full Division I this year, you see all sides of it. You see recruiting different kind of guys and fitting 63 scholarships versus 85 scholarships. And so I've kind of gone through all that. I was able to be a part of scheduling. That was good for, just so the gamut of the academic side of it and just everything that goes involved to starting the program, so it was good for me.
Bill, Joe Medley, Anniston Star. Just the stated goal here obviously is to win championships and playoff games. How do you make that happen?
Well, I think it starts with getting the right people here, and we know we've got good guys here so far. I don't know them that well. The track record in the past has been good. I think the point of emphasis is not that, we're being arrogant or we're saying, right day one that we're ready to do that, but that's our goal. And we want to start training like that and working like that. And I think that's going to start in January with how we train. And I take a lot of pride in that. I've always been part of the weight room and the speed work and all the things that go into making these guys better players. We've got to go out and find those same kind of guys that are good students first, but great players. One of the things that I think we've got a great advantage in is our relationship with high school coaches. I'm a long-time high school coach. We started the Alabama Football Coaches Association. So I know a lot of the high school coaches here. I've recruited Atlanta, South Georgia. Guys on our staff will have extensive recruiting experience in this area. We want to win this area. We want to win this state in recruiting, as best we can. But we know these guys. We know these people. We trust these coaches. I think they trust us, and hopefully they're going to want to see us do well. So hopefully we're going to be recruiting well. I know, like I said, obviously if you go through this building and see this stadium and see what our university looks like, it's gonna be pretty easy to recruit to, I think.
Bill, we talked about this a little bit yesterday, about, you know, you didn't play college football.
Right.
We know the reason,
Sure.
you know, why that happened. You weren't really comfortable in talking about the back and the things that led to you not
Right.
playing when we talked yesterday. Or are you any more comfortable in talking about that in this forum here to us today, about what led to the back injury and the decision to ultimately go into coaching following your dad?
Well, I was able to finish high school and play and played on good high school teams. And, you know, the choice was, do I go play and risk an injury, or do I go ahead and start coaching? And I knew what I wanted to do. I knew that since, you know, I was very young. I was drawing up plays, and that's what I knew what I wanted to do. You know, and I hung around coaches. That's what I grew up around. And so I got to start coaching at 19 years old. So I've been coaching a while. You know, you learn something every day in coaching, obviously, but been doing it for a while. Obviously, this has been a dream of mine to get back home and be the coach at Jacksonville State, and to see this come to fruition is a neat experience. So maybe that answers that.
Was there just a constant pound, you know, the pounding from the...
As a ninth grader, I cracked a vertebrae, ended up with compressed disc, and played through it till senior year. And, you know, it's, do you want to walk or do you want to? And I got to start coaching.
Okay, we got time for a couple of questions from the audience. If anyone has one, just raise your hand. Go ahead.
Ed Moore, news director for WLJS. You know, it's been seasons, it's been many, many years since Jacksonville State has had a new football coach. How do you try to earn the trust of the players? They've been so acclimated to the ways and the presence of Jack Crow.
Sure.
How do you expect to kind of win the players over?
You know, I think experience is a great teacher. You know, like I said, growing up a coach's son and being around it, been at a bunch of different places. You know, I've been at a bunch of different high schools, started new programs. I think past track record's important, but I say, guys, see what you do. You know, we talk, and we're not scared to talk about that we love our guys. You know, and I kind of tell our guys, all right, you know what that means now when I tell you I love you. You know, I want to know everything about you. You know, we're going to be involved in your lives. We're going to know what your academics are. We're going to know where you are, what you do. We represent each other. I think players see that. You know, I think players see who you are. They see through the mess, and they just get right to it. And I think that takes time, though. You know, but I think the work that we put in as a staff, as players, that brings the cohesion together, and that's going to show up out here. Hopefully August 31st. You know, I know we're still looking for that first game, but they'll see that. You know, they'll see that, I hope. So, but that's something we got to earn, and we'll be doing that daily.
Any other questions from the audience? Coach Billy Ramsey from We Are Sports on WLJS. You mentioned the August 31st game. Any ideas of who we may be able or may be looking at?
Well, I know that's a date. I think we just talked about that date being one that Coach wants to. We want to try and get somebody in. Obviously, we're working on that. You know, I know there's some ideas I can't really say on that right now, but I know we need a game there. So I think we're in work on that. So we discussed that today. So, you know, it'll be here before we know it.
Okay, any other questions before we break into some one-on-one interviews? Okay, we're going to have all the media come up and we'll do some interviews with Coach. And he'll certainly stay around and visit